I canceled Thanksgiving dinner. When my friend dragged me into her affair, I am 33F and I haven't been well enough to go this year due to intermittent illness. Nothing major. I'm just tired. My spouse and I decided not to spend Thanksgiving with our families this year. My brother and his wife are spending it at her parents' house. And his parents are on a cruise, so everyone is happy and nobody is spending the holiday alone. We opted to host a Thanksgiving meal and invite 10 friends in all because we had some friends in town who aren't going away for the holiday. I've prepared everything and even purchased a Thanksgiving meal for 15 people. I like to have extra food on hand so that when guests depart, they can still have some. We placed our order since my husband and I are unable to prepare a Thanksgiving dinner for this large a group on our own, and I feel physically incapable of doing it. We were eagerly anticipating our Thanksgiving meal together. I wanted my 5-year buddy to attend because she has been going through a difficult time lately, and it would be strange for her to be in town and not be asked. Nevertheless, before I ever met her, my buddy Tina had been engaged to her fiancé Max for more than 5 years. Thus, as a pair, my spouse and I have always gone out with Tina and Max. Tina informed me last year that she's been crushing on Tom, Max's friend, who we don't actually know well. I made an effort to be a good friend and support her, but she kept trying to tell me details about how she flirted with Tom when he would come over, how they touched, and other things. I told her that I didn't feel comfortable hearing about it and that it wasn't right that she would put me in this situation because I had to see Tom again, and she wasn't breaking up with Max, which, despite the fact that I had done nothing wrong, made me feel like a liar. She apologized and said she understood why I was furious. As time went on, I noticed that although she was still engaged to Max, things were progressing between her and Tom. I repeatedly tried to tell her that this is really bad, that she should come clean to Max and that they should either try to work things out or part up, when she would moan about how messy her personal life was. She stopped talking about it completely, I believe, after realizing that I wasn't behind her. Max and I continued to hang out with her, hoping that she would figure things out and stop her relationship with Tom. Naturally, we invited Tina and Max to Thanksgiving. This is where the issue arises. We were out on Friday night with several friends, Tina and Max among them, and to my surprise, they had also invited Tom. Max mentioned that Tom visited their home more frequently and was closer to them. It wasn't pleasant to hear, but it wasn't my concern. But as the night was coming to a conclusion, our other friends were chatting about how much they were looking forward to Thanksgiving meal. Tina urged Tom that he ought to come too. She asked him to come to my party, my house, being fully aware that I oppose any infidelity or inappropriate behavior she may be engaging in with him. Tom stated he would love to, and I was speechless at that precise moment. My spouse's approval sealed the deal. He thought it was a terrific idea, crucial information. I didn't want to reveal Tina's secrets to anyone, least of all my husband, so I kept her privacy intact and he is unaware of what is happening with her and Tom. I've been feeling really angry and sick to my stomach since Friday night. I therefore made the decision to postpone the Thanksgiving celebration at our house and asked a friend if she might host it in its place, provided that I sent all of the food. As he wasn't present with us on Friday night and isn't in the initial text group where we extended the invitation, I purposely selected the one buddy who doesn't know Tom at all, so he isn't invited. I had no right to do that in order to remove Tom from the invitation. Tina said in a lengthy message that I was angry with me and that I had no idea what had happened between them because I had refused to hear specifics. The disdain and the chutzpah. I'm considering ending my relationship with her, but before I do, I should gather my thoughts and consider asking everyone whether I might be overreacting in the AH update. To put it briefly, a year ago, my 5-year buddy Tina told me that she had been flirting and touching hands with Tom, a friend of her fiancé Max, under the dinner table, among other things. I told her I didn't need to know, with a look of scorn. We didn't talk about it once more. I kept this information from my husband out of respect for Tina's privacy, and because I had more important things to do and was dealing with a lot of health issues. In the future, Tina asked Tom, a possible lover, to my Thanksgiving meal without getting my permission. This was in front of Max, our friends, and my husband, so I was unable to refuse. Tom was immediately ejected from the dinner after I abruptly called it off and asked a friend who doesn't know him to host. After Tina became enraged, she essentially bullied me for 3 days through texts, saying things like, "You are not a good friend because you don't want me to be happy." By happy, she meant that she would like to have her fiancé and her possible lover together in my home. From, "I am glad you got sick and fat so I don't have to hear people talk about how good you look," to "You are a professional failure because you didn't get that job you wanted." I told my husband about it because it didn't make sense to keep it a secret given all the tension. He came to the conclusion that it would be best to tell Max, not only because he is entitled to know, but also because we will be severing our ties with her or them if they choose to stay together, so he will undoubtedly have questions. We all agreed to do it after Thanksgiving, but we couldn't agree on whether to inform Tina in advance so she could tell him first if she wanted to or to come together and discuss it as a group of 4. This was done out of respect for Tina's basic human decency, not because she deserves any grace at this time, but so that she wouldn't think of it as a backstabbing situation. We made the decision to attend the Thanksgiving meal without causing any trouble, in order to spare our friend's evening from being spoiled. Although Tina was privately sending me angry messages, there was no reason to think that she would start any drama because she was behaving perfectly normal in the group chat and even making jokes about something I had said. But I found out late this afternoon that she had made a second group chat and informed our friends that I had been lying to them about her, and that everything I had told them was a fabrication to harm her reputation, even though I hadn't said anything at all. My intention was to inform them, without going into specifics, that I had ended my relationship with Tina, and that I was sorry she had tried to put me in awkward positions. I also intended to let them know that they didn't have to pick between her and me, that we could still hang out, and that I wouldn't mind if they didn't want to invite Tina to certain events. While not ideal, that was the best I could have done. She further requested that they make a decision between her and Max and between my husband and myself, since she could no longer bear to be in the same group as me after I had ruined her life. My friends were obviously very perplexed. They contacted me, knowing that I don't distribute false information because the majority of them had known me for more than 20 years. I told them everything and showed them all the mails. According to the buddy who is hosting tomorrow, Tina reportedly inquired whether Max and her could invite a friend. Most likely, Tom. My buddies and I had an hour-long talk, and we decided that we would tell Max as a group today and that they wouldn't be attending the restaurant tomorrow. Well, only Max if he wanted to. We all needed to talk to him, so please come by yourself, one of the buddies told Max over the phone. He lives barely 15 minutes away, and he arrived with Tina less than 20 minutes later. She began ranting at everyone, already in a state of fury. We told him despite a great deal of drama and denial. It turns out that he was hiding a gut feeling from himself. It also turns out that they are both a bunch of assholes because before moving on to Tina, he was reportedly in a committed relationship with her friend. Glad they are no longer in our lives, we are all. In a final low blow, Tina advised me in front of everyone to focus on my marriage rather than her relationships because, in her words, she had an affair with my husband during the few months that she and Max lived with us due to financial difficulties. I don't believe it, of course, but it tasted so bad. Update 2. She now claimed that my husband gave her a necklace that belonged to his family's treasures when she uploaded a picture of it to our group messaging. Her sole evidence is that. I could be wrong, and she took it. He wouldn't be so foolish as to offer her something so unusual. Though I don't trust a word she says, it does make me feel depressed and bitter. Since everyone is at the Thanksgiving celebration and the mood is undoubtedly negative, this is sort of a second update. I feel horrible since it seems like all of my friends are impacted by this. Whoa, Ata, ruined Thanksgiving. Should I have done anything else or just allowed her to bring Tom?